May I pay the most respect to the Buddhas and great masters. May I pay respect to all the senior monks and all venerables. And good evening, all the good friends, brothers and sisters. I thank you for your wonderful introduction. Maybe it's a little bit exaggerated that I am an amazing person. I'm just an ordinary monk.
You are.
And I think everyone is special in some way. And thank you anyway. And I thought this program was was terminated, but apparently there are many people still waiting and watching this program. And thanks to the director, and the moderators, all the staff, and of course all the audience who make this program possible. And thank you for having me here again, being part of this merit. And before we're going to the Dhamma talk session, shall we start with the most important practice, which is the meditation? And is anyone new to the meditation practice? No? So I believe that everyone is an expert, so they don't have to explain much. And but anyway, either expert or newbies, each time we meditate, my master said that just what we do is just like a kindergarten student, just observe and be satisfied and with whatever occur at the present moment. So it's maybe it's kind of like this. So we still have time. I'll share screen.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm happy.
Oh, I love you.
Banana.
Okay, maybe she's a little bit exaggerate to whatever happened at the present moment, but I hope you get an idea that be satisfied with whatever happened at the moment and just enjoy when we're practice without expectation or thinking of anything else. Just enjoy and satisfied, right? Whatever experience occur at the time. And I hope we will have some peaceful and restful time together. So first of all, please find your comfortable and restful posture. You may sit on your favorite chair or simply on the floor. And I'd like to ask you to slowly shift your awareness to your body sensations. Feel the firmness of the ground under your feet. Feel the softness of the chair or the cushion that you're sitting on. Feel the feeling of your hands on your lap or on your knees. Recognize the warmth or the coolness of the air touching the surface of your skin. And when you're ready, you may slowly and softly close your eyes down. Recognize any tensions that you may have in your body. And you may adjust your posture at any time if you like to. Softly close your eyelids just halfway. Relax all the muscles in your forehead. Relax all the muscles around and between your eyes. Loosen up the muscles in your teeth, your lips, and the jaw. Feel the feelings of relaxation all over your face. Allow the feelings of relaxation to slowly flow down from your face to your neck to both of your shoulders. Feel the feeling of relaxation flow down from your arms to your hands and to the tip of your fingers. Relax. Relax all the muscles in your chest, your abdomen. Feel the feeling of relaxation flow down from your upper body down to your lower body. Feel the feeling of relaxation flow down from your legs to your feet, to the tip of your toes. Realize your whole body's relaxation. Easily and comfortably. Gently and softly. You may imagine that you are sitting in a beautiful place in nature. And even though you are all alone, you feel safe and secure. And I'd like to ask you to take some deep breaths. Breathing in, feel the air slowly flow past your nostril, past your throat. Feel the air gently flow deep down into your stomach. And breathing out, and feel the air slowly flow, long and slow, past your lips. Breathing in, feel the air past your throat, and gently flow deep down into your stomach. And recognize the air is coming out long and slow past your lips. At the turning point of your own deep breaths is the center of the body. After a few deep breaths, you may now breathe naturally. And if you feel comfortable, you may rest your mind at the center of the body in your stomach. Or if you feel more comfortable, you may rest your mind in a wide, empty space. And for some people, you may feel like your physical body transcends into a wide open space. What we need to do is just recognize and let it be. Easily and comfortably. Gently and softly. And if your experience is just a darkness, just be satisfied and let it be. Observe and recognize your inner experience with calmness. No need to rush or push your experience. Because this is the best time for the body and mind to rest. Allow the experience of peace and joy to arise and expand naturally. Allow this positive energy to arise and expand in all directions. What we need to do is just recognize and let it be. Be satisfied with your inner experience at the moment. Allow the feeling of peace and joy to arise and expand beyond our body in all directions, to your front and back, to your left and right, up above and down below. Allow these feelings of peace and kindness to expand and reach out to everyone, to all beings. In this universe. Recognize these feelings of peace and joy that arise and grow naturally. Allow these positive feelings to cleanse, to purify your body, your mind, and your soul. Recognize these feelings of peace and loving kindness. You may make good wishes for the benefit of others. May everyone, may all beings be free from difficulties. May all the sickness dissipate away. May they all live together in harmony. May they all be kind to each other. May they all be happy. And you may make some good wishes for your loved ones, your family members, father and mother, brothers and sisters, your family members and good friends. May they all be free from sufferings. May their lives be filled with love and joy. May they all be happy. And now you may make some good wishes for your own for a moment. Recognize the feeling of peace and positive energy inside. Allow these feelings to arise and fill your whole body. And make some good wishes for yourself for a moment. Be satisfied with your inner experience, whatever they are. Hold on to the feelings of peace and happiness. And slowly bring your mind, your awareness to the surface. And you may now slowly and gently open your eyes. Sape Buddha Palapata Pacheka Nanchayang Palang Arahanta Nanchate Shena Rakang Padami Sapaso Sapa Buddha Nupavena Sapa Dhamma Nupavena Sapa Sankha Nupavena Satha Soti Panyavuttho. Thank you for being with me to the end. I hope we all have some peace and some joyful moments together. And now we'll move on to the second session in this program. Hello, you all still with me? Okay. And today I have an interesting story to share with all of you on Zoom here, or maybe some people who watch this program later on. And I have talked to somebody here, and they said they've never heard of the dead mouse millionaire before. So if if possible, I'd like to see if anyone have ever heard of the dead mouse millionaire. Please type 1 if you heard it before. Okay, good. If no, please 2. 1 is yes, 2 is no. Okay. Okay, 2. So I know some of your background, so I can explain more or less of the story. Okay, thank you. We have some 1 and some 1s and some 2s. So I think for today, I'm just gonna give a brief history of the dead mouse millionaire, and then I will move on to his afterlife. So the story went like this. There was a man just walked on the street, and at that time there's another millionaire pointed out to the dead mouse on the street, and he said that the wise person can turn this dead mouse into wealth. So a man picked up the dead mouse, and then he traded with a lady. So he got like some tiny amount of money, and then he traded several things, like to the flowers, to the sugar cane, and he keep trading his what he got before, until in the end he became a millionaire. So that's how he got the name, the dead mouse millionaire. So just started with one tiny little belongings, and then he can turn it into his own wealth. And at that time, the Buddha gave the pronounce the quote, this quote: with humblest start and trifling capital, assured and able man will rise to wealth. And as his breath can nurse a tiny flame. So just for a wise man, just having a little bit of budget, he can turn it into wealth the same way as use the breath to raise up the flame. Mm-hmm. And then what happened to the millionaire at that time? This is what the story I'd like to share today. Mm-hmm. It happened in Ratchakar or Ratchakrut. Mm-hmm. It's one of the big city in the Buddha time. Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of like this. I don't know if any one of you have been there. And I believe that it have changed a lot, but at that time, it's a crowded city. And here's where the story begins. Mm-hmm. In a in the city of Ratchakrut, the daughter of a rich merchant's family had an intimate relationship with a slave. So becoming aware of her misconduct and afraid of she would get caught and get punished. So they both decided to run away together. And when time passed by, the daughter became conceived or pregnant. And it's a tradition of that time, of the Buddha time, that the woman should give birth at her former family residence. Just like when the Buddha was born, the Buddha's at that time, the mother of Prince Siddhartha has to travel back into her hometown. And the Buddha was born on the way back home. And also in this case, the daughter tried to go back home, but during the time of the traveling, she couldn't hold her baby, so she gave birth to her son on the way home. So she named her son away man, or Pandaka in Pali. And that's the first time, the first baby. Also for her second child, she tried to go back home, but it happened in the same way, that on the way home, she gave birth to the second child. So because it's too difficult to travel back home, so they decided to go back and raise those child in her house. And when the time passed by, the two boys grew up, and I just got the picture from somewhere, so it's not exactly the story in this picture, but so I hope you get some idea. And so they decided, now the two boys grown up, so they believe that they wanted their children to see their grandfather. So they brought their children back home. But at that time, it is difficult to accept the runaway couple. So the grandfather told his daughter that, I'll give you some money for your living, and your children can stay here, and I will raise them. And the grandfather of the kids, he had faith to the Buddhism, and he always go to the Buddha, listen to the Dhamma all the time. So the boys absorb all those merits and the good behavior of his grandfather. So the older boy told his grandfather that, I feel like I want to be a monk. So he asked, so with his delighted, his grandfather felt fulfilled that this is your best wish, my grandson. So of course, I will allow you to be ordained. So the older boy came to ordain as a novice, and then it's gone. And then not for a long time, he became enlightened. So with his kindness, and he thought of his younger brother, that I will bring him to have this same attainment as I have achieved. So he took his younger brother to be ordained in this same temple, and he became as a mentor for his younger brother. So he tried to teach him the Dhamma, to remember the Buddha's quotes and all the practices. And the first practice was to give him these 4 lines to memorize, so he can have faith in the Buddha. The teachings has only 4 lines: like a fragrant lotus at the dawn of day, full grown with virgin wealth of scent, behold the Buddha's glory shining forth, as in the vault heaven beams the sun. He tried to teach his younger brother monk, but the 4 months passed by, his younger brothers couldn't remember even one sentence in this quotes. So he came to speak to his venerable brothers that I couldn't remember anything. So out of I think it's out of his compassion, of course, because he's already enlightened. He said, "Little way man," that's the name of his younger brother. "You are not equal to receiving this doctrine. In 4 whole months, you have been unable to learn a single stanza. And how then you can hope to crown your vocation with supreme success? Leave the monastery." Just straight out like that. So if you were this monk, how would you feel? And this is what happened. After listening to his own brother, monk, he felt really sorry to himself that why I couldn't remember anything. And I still love being a monk and be with the Buddha and all the others. But right now, my brother told me to leave and go back home. So he felt really sorry to himself. And he would just cry. And he left his brother and then he cried. So it's not just the man can cry, but the monk can cry too. But crying doesn't mean that a person is weak, but it means that a person has a heart. At that time, he's just a putushon, or he's just learning Dhamma. So it doesn't mean that all the monks who has been ordained is become attain enlightenment right away. But in fact, most of them still have feelings. So after listening his brother like this, so he just cried. I just got this photo picture from somewhere else. So he just cried and he just talked to himself that I'd like to be a good monk and I'd like to remember anything, but I couldn't. So, and this time I have to go back home. And at that moment, as the Buddha came to see him. And he came to support his disciple, this little layman, is his name. That the Buddha told him that you are not ordained for your brothers. You have faith in me, and you have been ordained in my own monastery. It's not your brother's monastery. So come to me. So don't go back home and live your layman life Mhm. It doesn't worth being living like that. Living in this monastery is more worthwhile. So, and also the Buddha gave him a special mantra. Mhm. He told the little wayman, Julapandaka, this little young monk, that in the morning you you face yourself to the sun in the morning, and this is the white cloth. And when you're looking at the sun, wipe your this cloth with your hands, and repeat the mantra, Racho Haranang, Racho Haranang, which means it can be means two ways. The first is this is the cleaning cloth. Another meaning is like purify the impurity. Purify the impurity. After a while, on that day, after he used his hand rubbing on the white cloth, the white cloth became dirty from the sweat and from his own bodies, of his hand. So he thought to himself that these cloths become dirty because of our dirtiness of our body. And then at that time, the Buddha came to realize that this young monk is ready for the further teaching. So he came to appear before him and said, impurity in lust, wrath, delusion consists, but not dirt. And lust, wrath, delusion, we term the real impurity. Yeah, brethren, who drives it from his breast, he lives the gospel of the purified. This is translated by Robert Chalmers, which is like more than 100 years ago. So the language is like more than 100 years ago language. So basically it means the dirt is not the impurity, but in fact it is the lust, is the anger and the delusion in your mind, which is impurity. And if we can get rid of all those desire, anger, and delusion, we will live a purified way. So after hearing that, he became enlightened with supernatural power of mind. And it came to very special moment. On that day, Chivaka Komarapat, or the doctor, he invited the Buddha and all the monks at the monastery to have lunch at his place. But his brother, the great wayman, he was the organizer of this event. So he told Chivaka that he already invited all the monks here to receive the alms offerings. he thought that his younger brother already went back home. But before the Shivaka Komalapat, and then the doctor giving the alms offering, the Buddha said, no, there's one more monk at the temple. Please go there and ask him to join. So the Shivaka, the doctor, he sent one of his staff servant to invite the little wayman Julapandaka. And when he got there, what he saw was thousands of monks were doing things in different ways. Some are sewing the cloths, some is dyeing, and some is sweeping the ground. And when the servant asked, I came here to invite Julapandaka, and everyone, like all the 1,000 monks, said, I am Julapandaka. So this is the power of his mind, that he multiplied himself to 1,000 monks. So everyone is Julapandaka, or the little wayman. So the servant came back and asked, what should I do? So the Buddha told the servant that go back and ask, who is Julapandaka? And the first one who answered, please grab his hand and the rest will disappear. So the servant did so, and he came to join this Sangha and receive the alms offerings. I don't have, I don't know if you know this. I don't know, I think of Naruto. So it's like he has some kind of magic that he can multiply himself. And this is about the end of the story. So the little wayman Julapandaka became an arahant. And here's my question before I end my talk. So if you can, or if you'd like to, please type in the chat box, who is the former dead mouse millionaire? The older brother monks or the younger one? I give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, great job. The answer is the young monk, the younger one. And here is my conclusion, or what I'd like to recap here today. What I have learned, maybe you have learned, or you have different perspective, or maybe we have the same conclusion. But here is what I have learned. The good deeds or bad deeds are following. Look down or laughing at those unfortunate people can have an effect to our life. Why I think of this lesson is, at first, I mean, in the previous lifetime, the little wayman, the Julapandaka, he was a wise man who can trade the dead mouth and turn it into his own wealth to become a millionaire. But in this lifetime, he became a dummy, cannot remember even 4 lines, try to remember it for 4 months, but he cannot remember only 4 lines of teachings. Why is that so? It is because in one lifetime, when he was also being ordained as a monk, he looked down to, he was a very wise, smart, clever monk. So he could remember all of the Buddha's teachings, and also he can give the teachings himself. But at that lifetime, he met another monk who is not very clever. So he was kind of looked down and laughed at him that that monk couldn't remember the Buddha's teaching. And only that situation, it is consequences make him become unable to memorize the 4 lines of quotes. So just a little bit of this action can have a strong effect to our life. So the good deeds and bad deeds is trying to give the result. So after he could, it come to the second lesson I learned: a friend in need is a friend indeed. So without the Buddha, without a good friend, he couldn't get over and become enlightened. So the good karma and bad karma is trying to take effect to our life. So with having a good friend, our life can turn around from a dummy to an enlightened one. So this is what I learned from this lesson or from this story. So if you have anything to share or any question, you can raise your hand or type in the chat box, or you can speak it out so we can learn from each other. And that's all I have today. And thank you very much for being with me to the end. And if you have anything to share, please, this is the time for Q&A, I think. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Venerable. You know that I have never listened like this story before, and
It's good to hear. So I have some merit.
สาธุค่ะจุลปัทกะ was so clever, and I got the question for today now. The first question, right, according to the story, we could see that the young man Julapataka was so smart, clever, intelligent. He could make a lot of money from just one day's life. He was so smart. How can we be like intellectual persons like him? Like, what can we do to make like that factors to have like to be intelligent persons?
I believe that it doesn't say it in the story exactly right away, but before this lifetime, he's been ordained as a monk and practiced the Dhamma, and I believe he's practiced meditation for many lifetimes. before he became this millionaire. So from what we learned from our masters, Kun Yai Achan, and also Luang Po, that the wisdom came from practicing the meditation. So I believe that that's one of the cause or the reason why we can see things clearer, or we can see opportunities if we have a calm mind, and we can and also when our minds are clear, I believe that is the law of attraction of that we attract the good things to our life. So still I think it's from the practice of meditation. Oh, you are muted.
Oh, sorry. All right, I got it, and I hope that the order of the question will try, and I'm the one who will try more meditation practice to get to be intellectual person.
Okay, and another reason, I think he should have he probably have a good friend. I think this is important. So he learned and from, or I think it comes to the Buddha doctrines that if we want to make money, if is the is uakasa, is you need to learn how to you need to be skillful to what you are doing, and also you have to be clever of spending, and another one, we have a good friend, uakasaอะไรนะ
I forgot. No, but I got it. I got it.
Yeah, you got it right.
That's one, yes. So that means if we have a good friend, is we get like attract good things in yeah. I mean, like if you have good friends, this good friend gonna attract the good thing income.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things. Like it's also in Mankala Sutta. Like the first thing you have to avoid the bad people and associate with good people. I think it gives us a lot of benefits of having good friends. You learn from them, and you have a good behavior, and you learn how to speak and how to do things better. And I think that's very important, especially when we look at the in the story. If he couldn't, if the Buddha doesn't do his duty as a Kalyana Mitre, or come to teach the Julapandaka, there's no way that he can be enlightened. So this is why the Buddha is so great. Is one of the most the greatest people as being a Kalyana Mitta.
All right. Is it true? Mixed with the wise people. Yes, that's one.
If you have any other answers, you can share, so we can learn from each other.
I totally agree with both variables and the verses from the text box. All right, we have got another question from home. Is it how cleaning the house will affect meditation? How did cleanness affect meditation?
there's another Dhammavot or Dhammapada that I like a lot. Is about a monk who love sweeping or cleaning his residential area, clean the monastery. He just keep cleaning and cleaning all day long, from the morning to in the afternoon into the evening, all day, every day. Mm-hmm. And then so it seems like he's a very clean person. Mm-hmm. I mean, he loves cleaning. Mm-hmm. But the senior monk came to tell him that you should manage your time. This is time to study. This is time to cleaning up. This is a time to practice meditation, and do this in the balanced way. Mm-hmm. And then after he learned from the senior monk, he became enlightened, but not before. So this is it came to my mind that, so is the cleanings can help a person be enlightened? So, but I think it's the balanced way that, of course, cleaning is necessary. I think that, as Kunyai said, cleaning outside is also the cleaning inside. Mm-hmm. And if things just mess up all around in order, mm-hmm, in orderly, mm-hmm, it's not easy to bring the mind to the calm state. Mm-hmm. But the end of story of that, the monk who loves sweeping, was that after he's been enlightened, he just stopped. He stopped the cleaning, and the friends, the monks and friends came to ask, "Why don't you sweep today?" So his answer was that all of the duty, of all of the necessary duty, I have already done. So it's like he's already an enlightened one. Mm. And so to me, I have seen those who have very deep meditation experience, but his place is not very in order. So, but anyway, as a practitioner, I think it is give us more comfortable and relaxed feeling when the things are clean and organized and tidy. To me, I feel more comfortable that way. So it may be different person to person, but in general, I think cleaning can help like us in support us of the good health, at least, and also it is easier to find things, and and that give us more time to practice, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I answered your question, but
I agree.
yeah.
Because I have tried it before. Once my press was duty, I cannot meditate, and once I quit it up, I found that it cleared my mind and I can continue meditation. So I quite believe that it affects a lot.
So I think just try. You can try to meditate when your surrounding is not very tidy, and another time when you just clean up and try to organize and tidy things up and meditate again. So I think it's a good way to experience on your own. There's no definite answer to each one's way of practice. Yeah, let's try it.
I will try.
Don't have to believe
Good
me.
to try.
That's what the
I'll
Buddha
try.
said. Don't believe the books, or don't believe your master. Just try it yourself. I think that's the best way.
Don't believe until you try it yourself.
Yeah, you can find your right answer.
All right, so we have got another question. We have two questions, in fact, but I was asked this question. If we know that ourselves is like introvert person, mean like if he or she is not good talking to others, sometimes shy, how to practice ourselves to be more, to be like to get more confident. Like if
one
we
more time, please. One more time, please.
Okay. The other question is a shy person, like sometimes like introvert person, he or she not good talking to others, but how to get more confident in himself. That's it. How to, yes.
In my opinion, introvert is not a bad thing, and we don't have to be confident all the time. It's like we can be confident in my own space. Like some people's more comfortable, like being alone, but the other just love to be around people and like more socialized and more extrovert and speaking to people. But some people just love to be on their own and in their own space, and I don't think that's a bad thing. It's but if you like to be more confident, like speaking in front of the classroom like that, I assume the situation, just I think first thing for me, I think if possible, we have good friends first to support, and then try it again and again. Of course, we will fail. We will be excited. We don't do that great at first, maybe second until, but over and over, when we are more skillful, the confidence will come. I'm not confident at first in front of camera until I have to speak in front of Zoom. So it's not very good in the beginning, but I think I have more confidence over time. So it's the repeating of, it's the practice make perfect, and I don't think it's wrong, or you don't have to feel bad about being not confident in front of people. It's just your nature, and people have different preference. You are confident on your own, in your own space. So, but anyway, but if you want to stand out and speak up to people, just try it and have good friends who support you. I think that way you will get better and better.
The The more we practice, the more we get confident.
We get used to it. We get used to the failure, and and then we don't care much. And I think every time we get better. Mhm. And we are not afraid. We are not afraid of being failed anymore. And that's another way of confidence, I think. Mhm.
All right. And you did very well, Venerable.
Oh, thank you so
You
much.
did very good.
Thank you so much. Mhm. I think
Right.
most of the successful speakers, they have gone through the failures. I mean, many failures before they can do their best. Mhm. Mhm. So
Alright.
I like to encourage, like to support you, like to do so. You'll be a good one someday. Mhm.
Yes, I think the owner of the question are listening right now. And since we almost run out of the time, may I have for one question from home? Yes. That one person asked that she mentions about the great master, our great master, คุณยายอาจารย์ ค่ะ and he asked that how to maintain our life like a great mother. Why? How did she do to maintain her life in like in the temple, while other teachers like คุณยาย someone would finally got out for marriage, having a family like that. The question is that how to maintain ourselves to being single, being alone, and maintain ourselves in the temple like that.
I heard one of my monk's friend, he had a great opportunity to meet her himself. คุณยาย I mean, he met คุณยาย at the time he was an ubasok. Now he's a monk now, and he asked her, how do I live in this celibacy life in the temple. I can keep my celibacy. And theคุณยาย told him very brief, very short, but straightforward. She said, just be patient. So I think that's probably one key answer to live life in this to keep our celibacy or to live the pure life. It looks easy from the outside, but it's not it's easier said than done, as we've known that in the temples not that many monks as supposed to be, but this is one of the great answer that I have heard before. But again, for me, have a good friend and you can be in this path. Is because our passion or our minds is just up and down, or with our faith or our understanding. If we are surrounded by good people, we can be in the right path for a long time, to the end, hopefully. And that's my opinion.
I totally agree with you, Venerable. Right. Since we have run out of time, and thank you so much for all questions and all dhamma that you give to us. Hopefully, we have got a lot of useful information for today. And may last but not least, may you give hours for all of us. ค่ะ
Oh,
It may be a
Yes.
short.
a short one.
That's fine.
Just-
Yes, that's the short one.
okay.
That's fine.
Maybe I repeat the same thing. Just be surrounded. I wish you have, you are surrounded by good people. Mhm. And
Alright,
be
thank-
away, far away from those bad people and situations. Mhm.
Nice. Thank you.
Mhm.